So, welcome. I think it's working now. So, welcome to my next video, live with jazz and classical improvisation. Today we will be playing different chords and different scales, so you can see how it works together. We start now with this chord. And we try to find a scale for this chord, you know. So I think G Lydian is very well. So we have here G, B, C sharp and F sharp. We take these notes for our scale, so we will not change them. And we fill here our gaps. So we get G Lydian. Now we could improvise something by using a rhythmic structure, you know. I play this rhythmic structure for you on one tone. Okay, so now we could change our tones, so you know that we use G Lydian. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different tones. We can play here or here, here, or here, so it doesn't matter where. Our rhythm, pa, 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 pum. Let's repeat this motif an octave higher. Yeah, we could change something. Of course, the first element you can change is the rhythm, because it's your engine, you know. So that's your heart in music. The rhythm, it gives you the character, and let's say our rhythm is now so you see, we have already created a completely other piece. Why? Because of the rhythm, man. Because of the rhythm. Now we repeat the same here an octave higher. Okay, so of course you can change your scale, and what could we change here? We are altering now our 7th, so it's the F sharp to F. So you get something like this. This is also this is a dominant chord. Okay, we can, you see, this is the G7th, and here with this altered 5th. So let's play again the same motif in the new scale with the new chord. So you see that the rhythm is very important, but there is another element which should be also important for you. This is the articulation. You know what is articulation? Articulation in music means staccato, or accents, or legato. This is the articulation, so it's the character of your piece. Yes, look what I do now. Legato, staccato. Bum, bum. Yeah, so you see what is important: a scale, the rhythm, and articulation. So let's move forward. This was the first chord, it was the second chord, and Ah yeah, we have raised now this G, so we have gotten now something like a dominant chord. So it's our D flat dominant chord, D flat major dominant. Of course, dominant chords are always major. And now we are looking for our scale. Okay, so you play this chord and then you think about your scale. And here we have our scale D flat mixolydian. So when you play a dominant chords, the best scale you can play with them is a mixolydian scale. A mixolydian scale is like a major scale. You see, D flat major or Ionian, but we lower here our seventh, yes. So instead of C, we play now C flat. So let's change the rhythm. So you can see that I have a new rhythm and a new articulation. Okay, let's change again. Let's change again our scale from mixolydian to Lydian dominant or acoustic. We can name this scale also an acoustic scale. So an acoustic scale is the raised seventh and the lowered seventh. And now we raise the fourth here. Yeah. So we get now the G here. You see different rhythms which I play. You can write them down, you know, if you have a piece of paper, you can write them down. So then you have your rhythms, or you trust just to move your hands, you know, to practice moving. By playing legato, some group of notes, you can play legato. And some of them you can play staccato, you know, so then you can, yeah. So this was D flat acoustic scale or Lydian dominant. So let's move a little bit in our bass register. Okay, what could we do now? Let's take this A minor seventh. So now we could combine with this chord so many different other chords, you know, in order to get very interesting harmonies. So the common way here, the first nice chord is the A minor seventh, okay? So A is our prime note, our first note. And then, okay, so now you have found this chord and you want to know the scale notes for your improvisation. So you have here this A, let's play this here, G is here. So now you have this chord, C major 13th, but we want to use all keys. Let's add an D and F sharp. So we get again a C Lydian scale. And this sounds really very well with our bass chords. So I play this whole scale for you here, up and down. Again. Yeah, so now we keep this bass chord here and we try to play around with our scale. So, as I said you, an important thing is the rhythm. Let's think about a nice rhythm. So I play it on one tone for you. Yeah? So you can see that I used this scale tones from our C Lydian. So, okay. Don't forget about articulation. Look what I do. Do you hear the accents here I put into my improvisation? This is the character of my piece. Okay, in another way you could play and use other rhythms. Now you could create any chords in your right hand based on these scale tones from C Lydian. And we also use a rhythmic structure. There was something wrong here. Oh. Again. So you can see that some of these chords fit very well with our bass chord, by other chords doesn't sound so good. For example, this is okay. So all seventh chords like this, you see, with F sharp sounds very well. This one not so much because it's a diminished chord with the seventh. So I don't like it. So I'm not going to use this more. Yeah, it was another rhythm. Pam pam. Yeah. So and now we change here something in our scale. It's a new chord here with the major seventh. And automatically we change our scale in our right hand. We get now G sharp instead of G. And let's play this new scale in our right hand now. Okay, so this is now not more a Lydian scale. G sharp, we get a C Lydian augmented scale. It's a new scale, you know. It sounds a little bit more jazzy, I think, than this C Lydian. I don't know, you can write me in a comment line below what you think. And it's a little bit sad, or? I play now this scale up and down for you. Yeah. Let's build some chords based on this scale. So nice. If you have a big hand, you can really create very nice chords. So, and we want to create a piece based on this scale. And as I said, you need two elements. This is the rhythm and articulation. So now we're using only chords, okay? Any chords. So this is our rhythm. Can you hear this? Pam 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 pa pam 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 pa pam. Of course, you can write it down on a piece of paper at home. I'm not so talented, you know. To be honest, I have really very big problems to write down any rhythmic structures. It's my weakness, you know. But maybe you are better than me, and it helps you. We try to create a kind of motif, you know. And now we could mix our example, for our previous example, with C Lydian, okay? And with this C Lydian augmented. Look. We play only chords, C Lydian augmented. So yeah, you can really, we have only two chords, two scales, and we have already created a relatively nice piece of music. So, okay, what could we do now? We could now work a little bit with melodic motifs, you know. So, for example, you have a motif. No. Let's see this. Okay. Yeah, this is a B flat 7th chord, and I have created now in my left hand a very simple motif based on the tones of this B flat 7th dominant chord. And you see that I use a rhythm, da da pa da pa, oh, something like this. Okay, so we have now our melodic pattern in our left hand, and here we are looking, as you know, for scale notes. Okay, so we start. Here we can take from our chord these 4th notes, so B flat, F, A flat, and D. So, and we transpose it here an octave higher. Okay, so we get our B flat 7th dominant chord, and now we fill our gaps here. Yeah, you see, we have gotten again a Mixolydian scale, B flat Mixolydian. As I told you before, all dominant chords, don't forget, dominant chords go very well with Mixolydian scales. Okay, so I hope it can help you. This was our dam pa pam, and now we improvise here in our right hand single chords. You know, I'm doubling them. I'm playing octaves here, and we create a melody or motif. Nice. A little bit like Beautiful Stranger by Madonna. Okay, the last, our last try. Good. So, our left hand. Let's change the harmony, okay? Now we could jump. To E flat. Now we have a new scale here. A new scale is E flat mixolydian, okay? So you know this is a dominant chord and we can connect this with a mixolydian scale based on E flat, okay? So these are our scale tones. Let's use them. Now we can go back to our B flat mixolydian. E flat dominant chord with E flat mixolydian. And we can resolve it in something completely new. This is the modal harmony. So if you are my viewer, welcome. And we are speaking today about basic elements of modal harmony. Modal harmony is not a functional harmony. Functional harmony is, of course, chords, and you say this is a seventh chord and something like this. We also use the chords here, but our focus is on scales, you know, scales. Each chord has its own scale, and the scales we can use for improvisation. So this is a modal harmony. So not only chords, but also scales. So, and yeah. So now we could, what could we do now? Let's work again with chords. And we try to create a melody, you know. So many videos are about jazz and nobody creates a melody. And this is the most important thing in music, you know. For me, I don't know, maybe for you too. So we start with something like this. This is a bitonal chord. You know what is a bitonal chord? Bitonal means that you connect two different keys. Here you have a G dominant chord, and here you have a E major. And it sounds amazing, man. So you can do so many combinations because you have 12 keys. So I told you about modal harmony and about scales. Let us to find here a scale. It's not easy, you know. Something like this. I think it sounds well with our bass chord. We need this for our melody, you know. So let's check this scale. F, G, B, A, B, A. Yeah, flat. or yeah, so my application shows you what is it, and this is a half diminished. So I can play it also here. This in this scale is a what is this? Not half diminished. It's no, I have forgotten. Sorry, whole half diminished is it doesn't matter. So what's about here? So this scale is you have a half tone, whole, half, whole, half, whole, half, whole, half, and whole. So you can start it, and so I play it now with our dominant chord. Okay, or so you can make different chords based on this scale, and look like here how beautiful these combinations are. So you can so let's start our melody. We have a very simple rhythm. And we have to resolve it in something. So we resolve it now in E flat minor 6 chord, okay, with the third here in the bass line. Again, look. The next resolve, for example, F major. So I know it's very difficult, but you can see how I changed these chords, you know. This was the first chord or something like this. Then we tried to create a very simple motif. Based on this half whole scale. So now you don't have to follow my chord progression. You could take now this chord, okay, with this with this whole half diminished scale. I show you now another resolution. Let's start. For example, it's into C major 7th, or now I have resolved this chord in another chord in E minor 6 with this 6 in the bass line, C sharp, and a new scale, E Dorian. So now you see that, I know it could be very complicated for you now, but you can see that every time you play a chord, you can connect this chord with scales or with many different scales, and this is amazing in modal harmony, you know. So look, now we selected another chord, C minor 7th with the scale with C minor natural. Yeah, it's our melody. You can also sing, you know, don't be ashamed to sing. Singing is so important while composing music, you know. Let's move again to another chord. Now this was a very interesting. Look what I have done here. We have here D major with this G sharp. The scale I'm using here is D pentatonic, okay, with another tone, so it's a small dissonance here. This tone doesn't belong to our scale. Okay, so you can also break with this rule and say, okay, I'm using now a pentatonic scale and I want here something like this. It doesn't belong to my pentatonic, okay? I have no C sharp here or G sharp. Okay. I'm still thinking about the name of this scale, you know. It was a whole half diminished, or I forgot this. My God, I don't know. Now I know. How can you call it? This is an octatonic scale, you know. So the first chord was an octatonic scale. Look, I show you this scale based on other tones. So we have said octatonic scale is whole, half, whole, half step. Let's play here another chord. Let's play a minor. Okay, E minor, open position, E flat minor. And here we start. Half, whole, half, whole, half, whole, half, and whole. And it sounds good. This is this D octatonic, okay? I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, and now we try again to create a melody. Now. Interesting. Again. You see, now we use again here a bitonal chord. A minor 7th plus B major. So you can see how I'm working with these chords. Again, our D, da 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 da. A very jazzy chord, yes. A dominant. We are looking for a scale here, and this is also an octatonic scale. F sharp octatonic. Half, whole, half, whole, half, whole, half and whole. Sounds well. we can also change our scale. We get now F sharp Dorian with the lowered second. So you can experiment around with every chord. Let's back to our so yeah, okay. I know it's difficult, but you know, this is composition. Composition means that you put different things together, you know. You are the composer, not me too, of course, but you are responsible, you know, for music you create. So some people expect that they will compose for you. No, it's your job, and you know, of course, there are. It's your power of creation, you know. I show you now the scales and the way, and then you can use this for yourself, you know. So you have this power to mix these scales and chords for your music, and this is the most beautiful thing, because I will never create like you, and because you have your word and you know, and your power of creation. So, what could we do now? I know there is something like dexterity exercises. You know, I don't like them. I think nobody likes them. But sometimes we have spoken about bitonal chords. For example, G 7th and F major. Now you can play an arpeggio here, you know, just to practice your finger. Okay, again. We're altering this now by a minor second. And we play the same arpeggio in A major in our right hand. A new dominant chord, we are moving by a minor second, okay, down. And the last, oh, this sounds well. This dominant chord. Yeah, so, okay. And here another exercise. So, let's say, what could we do? I have here my journey. There is another exercise here. Oh, for example, you know, just in playing arpeggios. F dominant, our beautiful F 9th chord. So play around with your bass chords, you know. Let's play the same arpeggio in the right hand and change something in your left hand. Now I'm selected C minor. Or E flat major. Now D flat major. You can also change here from major to minor. I'm sorry. okay? Or you could play also, let's now this D flat major, and we change our keys in the right hand. So you have seen I have changed, it was a progression by a minor second and by a half step down, you know. Again, we have one chord unchangeable here, our D flat major, and different triads here, broken triads. So let's start with B major, then B flat, A major, A flat major, G flat, F flat major, I'm sorry, G flat, and F. Yeah, so this is a kind of improvisation with dexterity exercise, you know, playing arpeggios. Yes, okay. And finally we could do something, I'm thinking now. You see, this is a free improvisation, so you can jump. I'm going to show you. So you can do what you want. I'm not asking for any functions here. I'm not looking for, oh, it's what kind of chord is it? It's not interesting for me, not when you improvise. You have no time for thinking of major 7th, 19 or so on. It's not interesting, man. This is a kind of free improvisation. And you see how these elements are working here. I'm using different registers, you know, so I'm jumping here with my right hand. So because the piano is big, you know, and then I'm using different rhythms and different articulations. For example, here the last exercise for you maybe, so repeated tones, you know. 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you can repeat this note now, da, 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 da. And here you mix this tone with different chords. You see, so you can change now this repeated note. I play any chords, for example, augmented chords, okay? Let's play augmented chords in the left hand. Yeah, so this is also an improvisation. So you practice a melodic pattern or rhythmic pattern like this and play different chords, you know, and also create a kind of music. Yeah. This is everything for today. I'm in Europe and it's a little bit later here. So thank you very much for your attention. I will try to go online as soon as I can. And so I hope you could learn something today. If you have any questions, there is a chat, or you can write your questions in the description line below or comment line below. Yes. Thank you very much for your attention and enjoy your improvisation. You are the improviser, you are the composer. It's up to you what you do with your music. Never forget it. Thank you and bye.